Good day, Maiden and everyone. We are from Group 15, and today we want to present our topic, Impact of COVID-19 Pandemic on Education Sector. Our group members have Wong Zhenji, Kenneth Heng Bing Sen, me as Feng Xiang Yi, Yvonne Chong Yvonne, and Kashina. So, we will start our present. So, I will present my part as introduction. With the recent emergency of COVID-19, the medical profession has struggled to better understand the disease's natural characteristics, the symptoms involved, mode of transmission, and contagion conditions that result from infection. Although the Minister of Education Malaysia initially published prevention to increase public awareness about COVID-19, the specific increase in positive case necessity the distribution of operating procedures as a guide to ensure the healthy quality of school communities. Education sector in Malaysia have either cancelled all the campus event and program from a physical to an online delivery mode. Thus, the objective of this project proposal was to discuss and provide a comprehensive view of teaching and learning from home. The use of technological advancement, preparedness in education, group work, government alternative, internet facilities, government alternative, and student assessment mentors as a result of the impact of COVID-19. Specifically, in terms of Malaysian education system, COVID-19 has impacted almost every factor of the economy, and the education sector is no exception. Moreover, the COVID-19 pandemic has also impacted on higher education as universities closed their permits and countries shut their portals in response to lockdown away. Although higher education institutions were faster to replace face-to-face lecture through online learning, there's closer affect learning and examination also because the safety and status of international students in their country. The need of sustained and effective coordinations between public healthy authorized education different levels of government enhanced by local participation being on the front line in the response to the pandemic, provide necessary service to society. So I will pass my part to another person.
I'm Kenneth and I'm presenting discussion online learning experience. The Malaysian higher learning institution had carried out online learning started within the late 1990s. The web learning demand has been getting higher due to the aptitude to reach global audiences, unique functionality, accessibility, and flexibility within the future. A study in Malaysia has reported students' computer and internet efficacy and private characteristics like gender, ethnicity, course year level, and financial aid status affecting the students' online learning readiness. Nevertheless, the campus closure and movement restriction order affected the formal learning and opted online learning because the best alternative to continue the training process. In April 2020, the Malaysian government has been ordered the scholars to return to their hometown and continue their studies via online learning. Online learning is an efficient alternative learning method for both of scholars and lecturers. However, there are some issues require consideration, like the limited accessibility to the web. There is reported about 52% of students in Sabah, Malaysia, do not have the access to the web due to insufficient of infrastructure. Besides the limited accessibility to the web, the scholars experience difficulty in communicating with their lecturers, interaction with their friends, and laboratory access, which affected their studies. That's all from me, and I'll pass my presentation to the next member.
The next one is group work. This allows group members to investigate the use of potential materials in fulfilling assigned tasks and identifying the challenges involved in a novel experience. The planning and preparations, ability and resources of individuals were deciding factors in completing assigned tasks. And the third one is preparedness in education. Students needed to demonstrate devotions to completing homework and providing feedback to classmates. Student also requires to be held responsible for the work entrusted to them as a measure of integrity and ethics, instilling self-disciplines at home without procrastinations and shaping strong, disciplined and trustworthy individuals. Using laptops for communicating, typing, accessing the internet, filling important documents, and having a dedicated study space, for example, had a significant impact on students' homework performance. Internet requirements, the abilities of resources such as fast internet connections and advanced IT platforms in addition to basic computer facilities including laptops or personal computers were demand essentials. Financial resources may be an important factor in dealing with and recovering from acute crises, as the unexpected closures of campus impose significant and unplanned financial pressures on students who needed to leave on short notice. As a result, the abilities of emergency relief funds in the forms of soft loans or provide donations would assist students with day-to-day expenses, allow them to continue their studies. The last one is educational application attitudes. Teachers and students were also concerned about the types of online platform used, such as information delivery system, information sharing, and student training. Discussions and presentations, as well as the editing of videos and audios and slideshows, were used in the teaching learning process. Furthermore, e-learning is being implemented to electronic medias and informations and communications technology into the classroom. E-learning is also available to improve students' understandings and provided opportunity for IT skill development, particularly in terms of immediate information access.
Pandemic COVID-19 had definitely affected the education sector of Malaysia. To alleviate the impacts which discussed above, students should change and adapt to current learning method by formulating a new study plan. Next, charities related to education could provide financial support for students who have trouble in purchasing study device. Teachers and lecturers should also set a stricter guideline for students in completion of schoolwork. Then government could provide cheaper Wi-Fi plan or even free Wi-Fi for students from B40 or unemployment family. Schools of students who stay in rural area could use career service to send learning material in paper to them. Campus could also allow students to have physical meeting with teachers or lecturers by appointment. More and more educators in Malaysia would be unemployed due to this pandemic. Coexisting with pandemic COVID-19 is the new normal nowadays. So all of people who related to education sector should have better prepared from now on to deal with the post-COVID-19 world.
So next is Q&A part. So my question is, are children at lower risk of COVID-19 than adults?
Actually, so far, data suggested that children under the age of 18 years represent about 8.5% of reported cases, with relatively few deaths compared to other age groups and usually mild disease. However, cases of critical illness have been reported.
Okay. So next, I want to ask is, should children with underlying healthy conditions return to school?
Whether a child should go to school depends on their health condition, the current transmission of COVID-19 within their community, and the protective measure the school and the community have in place to reduce the risk of COVID-19 transmission. While current evidence suggests that the risk of severe diseases for children is lower overall, returning to school should also be considered.
Okay. So next is, what should be considered when deciding whether to reopen or keep them open?
Deciding to partially close or reopen schools should be guided by a risk-based approach to maximize the educational well-being and health benefits for students, teachers, staffs, and the wider community, and help a prevent a new outbreak for COVID-19 in the community. Yeah.
Okay. What benefit will school reopen provide?
The decision to reopen schools should include consideration of the following benefits, such as allowing students to complete their studies and continue to the next level, essential service, access to nutrition, child welfare, such as preventing violence against children.
Okay. What are the risks during transportation to and from school?
Promote and put in place respiratory and hand hygiene. So they should follow more on their SOP like physical distancing, measure and use the mask transportation. And whenever they are getting the bus, they should wear the mask, and also always sanitizing their hand and sanitizing the bus for every single trip.
Okay. So last question. Are online learning beneficial?
Actually, yes. Educators and students both having higher flexibility and convenience to a course, as they do not need to travel to a specific place to attend a class. Next, satisfaction and retention of students will be increased as if it is easier for students who are part-time workers, part-time workers so that they can manage their own time schedule. And also, online learning could also create a more interactive environment for educators and their students. Students can have discussion with lecturer right after class through a Google Meet, or they kind of have the flexible timing. So
Okay. So we are end for our present. Thank you.